should you go directly towards creating the type of business and career and work life that you want? Or should you find some kind of stepping stone that will give you the freedom, the money, and the time to work towards this? And this is something I don't have a clear answer to, but that I've actually just been working through myself over the past few months. And I just kind of want to share my thoughts and some of the insights I've had that might be helpful towards this. So just jumping right into it, one thing that you kind of need to consider is, how do you want to build the type of work life you want? For me, I want to do something related to farming or holistic health that's focused on making a positive impact on humans' health and environmental health. And I want to work outside and work with people. And for me, is this something that I kind of want to put a gun to my head? Like, I have a certain amount of time to make this endeavor profitable, or else I'm going to have to go back to a job that I hate? Or is this something that I kind of want to unfold over time and eventually transition into? And some of the benefits of having a gun to your head are that you can get into the field, and even if you're not doing it in the best way, let's say I was to go become a holistic health coach or become a farmer, at least I would be making a living in that field, and then it could naturally unfold in a better way. But at the same time, when you're taking something that you want to do with your life and you're saying, I need this to be profitable at a certain point because I'm relying on that, you're kind of taking out the creative freedom to really create the work life and career that you want. And so another thing to think about is where you currently are on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Because you can know that you want a career that has a beneficial impact on the world, where you really are tapped into your full creative force and you're allowed creative freedom and are doing something you love. And of course, you do want this eventually and you want to work towards this, but perhaps you don't have a stable income that you enjoy to a certain degree. Maybe you're not at that point on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maybe you need to worry on just getting your life together in a more basic way before you can actually tap into those deep motivations. And if you're kind of trying to jump to that, it can kind of be out of alignment with what you really need. And maybe what you really need is just a little bit of financial freedom, a little bit of time freedom, a little bit of more time outdoors to take care of yourself. And if you haven't achieved that and you're stuck in a life that you really hate, it's kind of hard to think about building a career that will have a positive, meaningful impact on the world, or that will use your full creative potential, because really you just need to worry about your lower needs. So take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, look at what you're aiming for, and categorize them into things that you know you eventually will need long-term and that you care about, and things that your heart is actually yearning for right now. Because a lot of things you convince yourself that you need. Like for me, let's say I'm convincing myself that I need to be making a large positive impact, or not even a large, just a positive impact on the world that I feel good about with my work, and that I'm helping other people and the planet. And if I look at that, I'm like, yeah, that is something I want. And then let's say I visualize, okay, tomorrow I have a great job, I am taken care of, I have personal freedom, I enjoy what I do, but let's say it's just kind of a neutral or even a little bit of a negative impact. I'm just inserting myself into some economic chain without offering much value, and maybe participating in an exploitative system that I don't believe in, that isn't good for the environment. And honestly, I would probably be okay with that. And a lot of people would be okay with that for now. They'd be like, yeah, I just need to take care of myself. And this is a concept from the book of Reality Transurfing, is that you really do need to take care of your own heart first. You can't be sacrificing yourself and doing it because you feel like you need to, because you feel like you want that eventually. When you're taking care of others, it needs to come from a place in the heart of having your cup full. And truly filling up your own cup in a way that is not harmful to others will give you the space, give you the energy, give you the creative potential and the competence to actually take care of other people. And this is something that will come naturally once you've taken care of yourself. And Of course, there is a balance here. This doesn't mean you should go out and be selfish and you shouldn't help other people. But when you're looking at your work life, if that's not actually your priority in your heart, and maybe it is, maybe that is all you care about, which is great. But if it's not actually a priority in your heart to help other people, you should focus on taking care of what you actually care about first and doing with what's actually in alignment with your heart. And oftentimes, for most people, that's a lot more selfish, and those other things will simply come later. So after thinking about this for a few months, where do I stand right now? Right now, I think that I want to keep building the foundation and exploring the career field of things that I truly care about related to farming and holistic health. And one way that I'm doing this is shooting this content just to kind of explore the area and just to learn more, to find my voice, to think about what I care about. And to kind of explore, like, is this something I would enjoy doing? Do I enjoy researching these topics and thinking about these topics and sharing it with others? Or, and I'm doing this too, do I just enjoy gardening and not directly helping other people, but just growing food and spending time outside, working with an ecosystem? And that's something I'm also putting time into. So I'm kind of exploring all these things. And as a baseline, I am definitely going to be putting a lot of my time and energy into these things consistently to explore that. But I'm not going to go all in. I'm not trying to start a farm right now that will pay all my bills. And I'm not trying to become a famous YouTuber. And if I don't get enough views, then I won't be able to hire enough clients or make enough monetization to pay myself. So I think I'm at a point where I kind of just want to explore this, but have time. It's okay to have a long-term vision for where you want your career to go. But before you go all in on something, it's okay to seek a lot of clarity. And it can take years to get to the point where you're like, okay, this is actually what I want to do. And then you're able to go into this thing with complete confidence. If you watch my recent video about drop shipping, I talked about how I spent about a month and a half drop shipping. And I could have gone all in on that. I could have put a lot of time into that. But I had the clarity to see that this wasn't the path for me. Whereas I feel like in a couple years or over time, if I do find that clarity, I would be able to go all in on something, to put a lot of time and energy into that. And so I think it can be good to strike a balance, to keep discovering and pursuing things related to what you want to do for work for the rest of your life, but then also to put some time into maybe finding a way to live at a very low cost, or to make money in a way that isn't super high effort, to give yourself those basic needs. And a lot of people will advocate simply burning the bridges, burning the boats so that you have to win the battle. And I think while this can work, this is a horrible, miserable way to live, and this will tap you into more fear. And then you'll simply be worried about finding a way to make money instead of a space of abundance and creativity and creating something from a more positive motivation, which will allow you to tap into your heart, tap into your full creative potential, and create things from a much healthier place. Because if you're watching this video, you're probably not just focused on money. You maybe want to create a career that you love, and it just pays you enough money to live the life that you want and gives you the freedom you want, while doing something that's aligned with what you're good at, what can help other people and make a positive impact, and what you enjoy doing. And so if that's your goal, it can be good to have a lot of time, a lot of cushion to work towards that. And sometimes you're just going to be at a place where you don't have the clarity. You understand a lot of things, and it can be helpful to put a lot of research into understanding this concept, doing introspection, finding what you care about. But actually deciding on that one thing that you're going to put a lot of time and energy into, that can take time. And that's okay. Your sense of purpose in life can be like an onion where you're constantly peeling back the layers. And so I think one thing for me has just been focusing on the next step that's directly in front of me, and not trying to have a whole plan, not trying to have control over this is how everything is going to unfold. Because as you take the next step, opportunities will arise that you weren't aware of. You can fall upon a line of good fortune. The next step will become more apparent after you take the next step, and you will have more clarity. So instead of trying to have this long-term vision, think about what it is that I want. It can be better to simply, and taking that and creating a concrete plan based off of that, it can be better to simply take that long-term vision and start moving towards it. And as you do that, your vision will become more clear. You'll start to realize different things, different opportunities will present themselves. And instead of trying to stick to that plan and think that things aren't going well, if they aren't fitting with this preconceived and materialistic rational notion of your plan, simply taking action towards the things that you want will reveal a much clearer path and take a lot of the pressure out of it. So those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will make a personal video if you leave a question asking for one. Let me know any thoughts on this subject. This is kind of just something I've been thinking about for a few months, and these are a lot of just the things that I'm using to think about it, so I don't fall into a trap.